What's up, guys? It's Larry, the Robot Baker, Robot General, and we're going to talk about using cryptocurrency to either grow your real estate business or how to use it to purchase real estate, but also at the same time use real estate to invest into your cryptocurrency. I guess your wallet, I guess is what they call it, portfolio. Right. Portfolio. Cool. So again, I'm not experienced in this kind of stuff. So we actually brought boss man Matt here on the call because he is experienced in it. He's a real estate investor. He's involved in real estate just like you guys are, but he's also, tapping into other sources of income, different, I don't want to call it side hustles, but streams of income, and also involving himself in cryptocurrency. So that's the reason why I want to do this call. We usually do this as a private call amongst the people who are on the call who subscribe so that we can have a private discussion. But I decided that this is something that might be worth sharing to the general public. Plus, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who might be not involved in real estate, because this is usually a call for real estate agents, people who are not involved in real estate but are involved in investing, maybe into crypto, and they might want to get involved in the real estate world. So I think that opening the audience is beneficial to everyone. So that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, but it's gonna be Matt's show for the most part. So Matt, you go and take over, boss. Right. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree with me, right? And I want to, well, hold on one second. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree. Sorry about that. I was making sure our sound was good. So a lot of people agree with me, or they might be in the same boat as me. Is we literally have no idea anything about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, whatever. And I do want you to sort of talk about that, but not quite yet. The one thing I really want to know about, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people might be curious as well, is what got you started, or tell us your journey, or tell us like what. I mean, we want details, right? So how'd you get started, and then maybe give us some numbers. Like what are you doing right now? Like how much are you generating, or what are specific examples of how you're using it? Because I mean, this is a conversation I've never had before, and if you were like a panelist at a conference, I would be wondering, okay, well, I want to know what you're doing, because obviously what you're doing, that means if I can do it, or if I want to do it, then you'd be the person I want to follow for sure. So can you kind of touch upon that a little bit?
Welcome to the IE Crypto Show. Are you sick and tired of YouTubers pitching their next
Hi, this is Matt, host of the IE.
Hoping for because again, I'm pretty sure, and I appreciate you sharing so much with us. Again, I'm pretty sure you probably realize that we, a lot of us who are on this call, a lot of people who are wanting to watch the show don't have any idea where to start, how, I mean, let me put it this way. I don't even understand the mining part. I don't understand it. I know people who mine. I have friends, fraternity brothers, cousins who are mining, and I still don't understand what they're doing, right? So it's to the point where, like, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't really matter if I understand it if it works. And what I mean by that is, if I find people that are willing to exchange or trade or sell or buy using Bitcoin and it's legal, then ultimately that's all that matters, right? Let me take my gum. Like for example, like you're saying you're investing in South America right now, right? Where we talked about this. Where was it? I forgot. Tony was in there. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some people that like living machines, where they're where and they it's kind of like what you and I talked on a previous one. Previous one is called about your custom family members that might have an opportunity to run some kind of small boutique hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they may or may not be able to afford the land. So why would you use that as a vehicle? You earn some cash flow so they can put time and energy into a business. But the business earns some cash flow. They can take that cash flow, buy Bitcoin with it, and then use that Bitcoin to put it into a cold storage device. Nobody can confiscate and all. And then if they get so hot, they still make whatever Bitcoin was them with them anywhere in the world.
Yep.
And it's like the power of that, And I got hung up too. I wanted to understand all the little shenanigans. Being an engineer, and it's like I wanted to understand every little bit. It was kind of like I was just myself.
Yep.
To do that, where it's kind of like I was expecting Bitcoin to get hacked.
Mm-hmm.
And take it down. Something, the whole code, all Bitcoin protocol, program is there. Anybody can look at it. And I thought, man, that's going to cut that actor's right free.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. Already tried and failed. So people, bad actors were a hell of a lot smarter than me in technology, programs, and everything. Or try to break it. So if they can't do it, it hasn't been done yet. And now with the power of the network, now there's over 1 million wallets worldwide. And there's so many miners, so many nodes out there ready to program that are more strong and robust than my person on that side. Where, at that time, technically, theoretically, like let's say if the CIA or FBI really wanted to be, they could at that point, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's too big, it's too strong, and too robust. Entire countries try to ban it. Large countries, powerful countries try to ban it, and they can't because all you do is internet.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to get past firewalls and satellites, things like that. As long as you have an internet connection, you don't have a Bitcoin network. It doesn't discriminate, which is great. It's for everybody.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, of course, now that we are talking about it so much, I kind of regret not investing back then. But it was like, it was back. Yeah, it was back in like freaking 2000, and before my wife and I, or right when we got married. So before like maybe Bruce was born, maybe not yet. I don't know. So it's like 10 years ago, and I heard about it, right? And back then people were becoming millionaires off of it, right? So, but yeah, I had the same feelings as you did. Like, this is going to get hacked. There's no standard like regulating body that seems to be, protecting it, right? It. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that though. I thought about to myself, I was like, like you said, someone's gonna hack it or whatever. Because I asked my cousin who told me about it, I was like, what do people use it to buy for? And like, well, right now they're using it to buy black market items, stuff that you can't buy publicly in cash. You're using it to buy black market items. I'm like, well, that sounds legal, but now it's gotten to the point where it's applicable to everything. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you know, and well,
Whatever you do, as you start kind of learning more, and you start learning more, what you have, it kind of starts meaning.
mhm,
And that's what really was. I put skin in the game.
yep,
And as I did more, I put more and more skin in the game. Where now it's like years later, I'm like, as much money as I can get, or I can get my hands on, and that I don't want to spend. All those things. Even I even got rid of my kids' checking accounts and done all their savings in Bitcoin because I'm looking for them, maybe at least 12, 13 years before they're young adults. Whatever Bitcoin I can get them now.
yeah. You know, it's funny because my wife actually invested in Bitcoin. She didn't even tell me. She just said, "Yeah, I got cryptocurrency." I'm like, "Bitcoin's?" Like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What?" So, yeah. So we're investors, right? But I'm far away from it. Meaning, I'm like second degree, not even first degree investor, right? But even she can't explain it to me. But the thing that interests me, and I of course, there's not enough time on this call to really dive into the actual science behind it or philosophy behind it, but the idea of it makes a lot of sense to me. What I mean by that is it's a universally accepted trade exchange that people are using to buy and sell and exchange goods, right? And ultimately, that's all that matters, right? If everyone is willing to adopt this, and I can probably find someone to buy a certain item using Bitcoin. Like they'll give me Bitcoin for it. You see what I'm saying? And then I'll accept that. And to me, that's how much I think it's worth, right? And then they got the item, they got the goods, whatever it is they got, And if that's a viable exchange, then I can do the same. I can use that to buy something else from someone else I would want, because ultimately that's what money is. It's just a medium for exchange, right? And it makes sense to me that Bitcoin has a lot of advantages that a regular US dollar does not have, like the fact that you can use it to buy property in foreign countries like El Salvador, right? I mean, El Salvador is allowing you to buy homes with Bitcoin. That's incredible. And if El Salvador, like you're kind of projecting, if it becomes like another Singapore, well, then more countries are going to jump in on that. More countries are going to want to be like, okay, well, yeah, and if that's the dude, yeah, no, the reason why that's interesting to me is if you were to invest today into Bitcoin, whatever, imagine how much more it would be worth if every country started accepting it as legal tender. Like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's another thing I was afraid of. Like, yeah. Right. Well, the exchange makes a lot of sense. I mean, whatever cost, whatever extra hoops you got to jump just to have an exchange, that you can kind of depend on makes it worth it, right? It's kind of like, I mean, what do they call it? And this is probably not this is probably not a good example, but like if the world were to end and the exchange market was gone, the dollar bill becomes useless, right? The dollar bill becomes nothing. So no one accepts it as a form of exchange. Exchange is going to end up being water or food or batteries or whatever the crap, right? In that kind of universe, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually my I put in the chat a link. I think it's to your radio show SoundCloud. Yeah, I put a link to that. Yeah, and I'll find the YouTube one and put it in there as well. I do think that it does demand a little bit further investigation. Um, and like I said, I mean, is this your YouTube channel here? Is that can you see my screen? That's yours. Okay, I'm gonna go and put the link in the comments as well. Like I said, I mean, Trader University.
Hi, this is Matthew Prater from Trader University, and today I want to talk about
I think I found it. I went ahead. Nice. Mm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, they lose control for sure. Um, and the fact that we're kind of on that topic, I just want to kind of gloss over it real quickly. I'm pretty sure some of you guys might be wondering, how does Bitcoin or cryptocurrency apply in like a mortgage environment? We cannot use Bitcoin as an actual down payment or assets, but if you can turn it into US dollars, then we'll use that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically we can source it. If we can source it, that it went from like your wallet and it became US dollars in your bank account, and we can source that, we will allow you to use that as a down payment, at least for Fannie, which is conventional. Okay. Yep. I don't think it'll go that deeply. I think they'll really just need to like this is literally what the guideline says. For proceeds from a Bitcoin or other digital currency exchange to be considered as an eligible asset, it must be converted to U.S. currency and deposited to an eligible asset account. All assets must be verified in accordance to the verification deposit. So it's just everything other kind of assets. So there are guidelines for other assets, right? The source of large deposit may be from Bitcoins or another digital currency, provided there is documentation to show the funds coming from the digital currency account that was owned by the borrower. So really, if you just show that you have money coming from your account, your cryptocurrency account into the actual U.S. bank currency, then you should be fine. Yeah. Yep. And I've had people ask me, can I use Bitcoin assets as a asset depletion? Because sometimes, well, I say sometimes, there is the ability to use assets as a source of income, right? Let's say you have $1 million or retirement, whatever, and you don't have any job, you're retired. If you can cover the amount of the mortgage based on your total assets, we'll actually be able to use that as income to qualify. So you can have no job, you can be retired, whatever, but you have enough assets to cover it. We call it asset depletion. So people are asking, can I use cryptocurrency as an asset depletion? Unfortunately, for that situation, not yet. Okay. So you still would have to convert that to US dollars, and then and possibly with the US dollars, you can turn that into an asset depletion scenario, right? So it will still have to be exchanged into US dollars in order to do that. But there are people out there, or not people, organizations that are starting to use crypto as an exchange for borrowing money and purchasing homes. Like, it's becoming a thing now. Like, there's mortgage companies out there that are trying to start that process as we speak. So you can look it up. I looked up one in bitpay.com. It's a blog. Bitpay.com, it actually says how to buy a house with cryptocurrency. And it's actually talking about, like how some companies are using different ways to use cryptocurrency industry to purchase a home. You can do it directly to the seller. You can buy condos. There's some condos that you can buy with Bitcoin, depending on what country you're at or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely a market for people exchanging real estate. When I say real, I'm talking about like physical property, houses, with the use of Bitcoin. There, people are actually accepting, just like Matt said about El Salvador. So if you would become an international investor, Bitcoin might be the way to go. It's definitely getting me interested. So, like I said, conceptually, right? Let's pretend the institution that matter, like the ones that you're referring to, right? Let's say they buy into it. They go, okay, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and just we're gonna make a gamble. We're gonna take a bet because it's better for us to lose a little bit on a gimmick, right? Than to lose and it actually becomes a thing. Right. I think if that starts happening, that will legitimize it 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll get to the point where once these guys get involved, then we have nothing to worry about. And that's when it'll be too late for us to invest and actually make the money that we want to make. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like now. Yeah, I think now is the time. If you really want to get involved in it, I mean, it might be a little too late right now, but it's still not dead yet. But I think now's the time if you want to, consider, expanding your portfolio and taking I would say almost an educated gamble, right, on something that may become the next big thing, which I think a lot of people already know that it is, especially people in El Salvador, right? I think that if you want to make a gamble, this might be a good bet because, I mean, I don't know about putting all your eggs in one basket, but put some eggs in your basket, like you said, just a percentage of it, right? And then, once it does become, an accepted, literally legal tender, right? All over the world, as well as like with these larger investment companies and such. I think that's when you'll see that it was a good decision. So, I mean, you got me thinking. Obviously, you got me thinking for sure. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of countries that are not accessible. Like we were talking about Vietnam, right? I'm not able to own land in Vietnam, but if I can turn the income that they make in Vietnam into a stream of income that will invest in Bitcoin, like you said, they can take that and go anywhere. Yep. Mm. Yep.
Right now, I think Bitcoin is about like $1.8 trillion market cap, more or less. Okay, so the market cap around the world. My basic thesis, and I talked about this on the radio was I think at a minimum, Bitcoin is equal to gold. So say, okay, if that, and that's what I personally see.
Mm.
Some people say it's 2 times, 3 times, 5 times better than gold. Because try to get $1 billion in gold.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Yes.
But you can't do anything with that dollar. Okay?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm not doing anything with it. Yeah. Yep.
And you just take the dollar.
Mm. Yep.
That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a dollar, $5, whatever I have right now, that I don't plan on touching in 5 years. I'm just going to put it into Bitcoin and let it and wait. Like they say, buy real estate, wait. Buy Bitcoin, wait.
Yep.
Don't buy real estate, buy Bitcoin, and then wait on gold.
Yep. I think it's pretty smart. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, again, there's so much involved in this concept that there's no way we can cover it in one call, obviously. But if you want to look at a 30,000-foot view, what I'm seeing, and this is my biggest takeaway, I guess, is people are adopting it. And when I'm saying people, I'm talking about countries, right? Not just hackers and black market people. I'm talking about countries that are adopting this. Okay, so if they're adopting it, then there's something to it, number one. And number two, it's almost like we know enough to at least make an intelligent bet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 10 years ago, that's crazy, right? I don't know if I would invest a dime into it, right? But now it's like, well, a dime, like you said, I'm not doing anything with the dime right now. Might as well put it in there and see what happens, right? I mean, worst case, I lose a dime 10 years from now, But yeah, it's actually, like I said, it's a very interesting idea. I mean, and the fact that people accept it now as a way of exchanging, things. So, even if you don't use it to hold whatever, you can still use it to purchase items some other way or whatever, right? I mean, even like I said, I mean, if the mortgage guidelines are literally saying you can use Bitcoin as a down payment as long as you turn it to US currency and there's proof that that money came from your account, then it's a thing. Right? If the CFPB and Fannie and Freddie and all those people are allowing Bitcoin to be a source of down payment, that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's something. That's not like I said, a gimmick, right? So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Wow. If Amazon accepts Bitcoin, it's over, dude. Because everyone buys from Amazon. Everyone buys from Amazon. If mm-hmm.
that they would have that would be tradable or exchangeable. Like you would buy Amazon credits.
Right.
That would be my guess. Maybe they'll buy Bitcoin, have it in their treasury account, like in their savings. Because why would they have all these millions of US dollars that they're having as purchasing power?
Yep.
Amazon, they're smart companies, and that's just my personal gut feeling. I have no facts or anything to back it up outside of about the company. I guess, but shoot, if it was the same, you might have like a little Amazon buy button.
Yep.
Why wouldn't Bitcoin be choice?
Yeah. That makes shit. We should start an Amazon that accepts Bitcoin. That's what we should do. Well, there you go. That's smart. Maybe I should do that. Nice. Mm-hmm.
Somebody who owns Bitcoin at least tells me that part of their philosophy is they respect privacy, security, and data.
Mm-hmm.
And so whoever it's just quicker. I know, like if I take credit cards or whatever, I don't have to worry about 3.5% fees. I can send you 50 cents to Bitcoin, and you'll get 50 cents to Bitcoin. Pretty much anything is like that.
Yeah.
It's like once I accept Bitcoin, there's no chargeback. They're gonna apply a charge later.
Right. Man, that's awesome.
Checking a routing number and a checking account number, HR, you say this wrong, check
Wow.
Like that. So a sat is a satoshi, which is basically like a penny is to a dollar. It says a satoshi. There's 100 million satoshis for one Bitcoin. So like how you have a dollar goes out to 2 decimal points, Bitcoin goes out to 8 decimal points.
Wow.
So you have 100 satoshis with one Bitcoin. So with the exchanges, I just look at sats. So right now you can get about 2,100 satoshis per dollar. So it's like you can get 21,000 satoshis today. And I think
Yeah.
more tomorrow today, which is a good thing.
For sure. Yeah, you're almost like you said, you're increasing your buying power, whereas the dollar is decreasing its buying power. Literally, it feels like by the minute. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yeah. Yep. Most buying power. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm. Wow, okay. Tesla. Yeah. 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 Of course. Of course. Wow.
You know, now I think about it, wherever you're living, go to meetup.com and just look up Bitcoin meetup. And just they're popping up all over. And there's a ton of Bitcoiners there that are more than happy, especially the top humans and people that don't have any Bitcoin that want to learn more. And trust me, that's where I actually learned a lot. Just local here, we have Orange County Bitcoin University, Los Angeles, San Diego, and Empire and stuff where they're more than happy to help educate them, listen to somebody who's like mining, explain how nodes work, why they're important, wallets, why certain exchanges are bad, why you might want to talk to Bitcoin on like at least hear different points of view in person, hear about people's journeys about Bitcoin. That's why I try to focus some of that on the big issues. It's just different small business owners, entrepreneurs, people that got into Bitcoin and other projects to help
Mhm.
sort of kind of figure that stuff out. Like me, my personal bias, everybody should know something. How much? That's personal decision. And how much is that we want to have versus what you get? Personal decision based on your risk. But you should have something.
Right. Well,
Bitcoin has a chance to displace the US dollar as the global currency. And you're talking about, I think the entire world is like $900 trillion, or trillion, somewhere around there. And you sit back and say, okay, if the whole global market, everything, is 900 trillion, and Bitcoin takes 10% of that. Listen, it's just 10%. That's $90 trillion. That puts you in 12, $14 billion per point. I mean, look at how the internet was back in the day. I did it 2000. I pulled out an old Apple iPhone, and when I was at a real estate investment company, you know what? One day we'll all be transacting 90% of our real estate on one of these devices, like
yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm making the same sort of prediction that we got a good chance that Bitcoin takes over a good percentage, double digit, 10, 25% of the world economy, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, like 10 to 15 years, and stuff. But I think 10 to 20%. Very more, probably will be more, but 10% of the world economy. This is where everybody kind of like sit back, really kind of think about what's gone on in the last 5 years. Bitcoin was born as a financial crisis in 2008. This ain't right. We'll go to jail for stealing clothes out of the store. And all of the bankers did compliance
Mm-hmm.
last financial crisis.
Mm-hmm.
All of the people that were homeless, all of the people that lost their houses, that their credit crashed last financial crisis. That made something okay. So is banking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it punished more for stealing, $1,000 than you for
Yeah.
So, I was watching what they did.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of things that, say Bitcoin fixes it does. It fixes a lot of things. That's why I'm so passionate about wanting to know more.
Right.
What's the best way for everyone to sell new? Go to theicryptoshow.com. Check out some of my resources there. My radio show, Storytime, or some of the more
What's what's the .com again? I.e. what? The IE Crypto Show. Let me see if I can find it here. .com. Okay.
hardware wallets that I use, and Bitcoin Max is the website, and Trader University, and 99 Bitcoin, like I went regular, an hour on those kind of, so you'll learn a lot, and then something like that, like those, Bitcoiners, just type in, search Bitcoin meetup, or meetup.com, and just, look for your closest city, on there, and I know them all usually somewhere that has service here, you'll find Bitcoiners, and all, and then just go show up and just, hey, I'm a total dude. Can't change the fact that it's organized in the blockchain, the miners do, they do, and sometimes like I had to have like 5 different times with different people in kind of for it to really click. Once it clicks, it's like you open your eyes, have to sit in the dark, the light. It's and it's like I gotta feel, I gotta have.
Awesome. Anybody else have any questions or takeaways they want to share? This is one of the longer shows, which is good. We end up my time 4:00 is already 4:13, so we're 13 minutes past normal. So I like that because it's good content. Does anyone? Okay, yeah. So we got 10 minutes. Does anyone have any questions or comments or takeaways or anything you want to share before we let Matt go do his thing? You guys are free to unmute or chat if you want. To me all the time, boss. So yeah, don't feel too bad. Okay, so I have one last one. Go ahead. For sure. Yeah, and my biggest, I guess, takeaway or question, whatever, is like I said, conceptually, it's a thing that it's not going away, right? It doesn't sound like it's going away at all. It's becoming widely adopted, and it's just going to grow. And it's a matter of how fast you join before it gets to the point where it's no longer useful to buy it, right? Paul has a question. Go ahead, Paul. he's talking about how to get paid in Bitcoin from your real estate. I'm also wanting to talk about how you can buy real estate with Bitcoin. And I kind of glossed over a little bit. There's a guideline out there, Paul, that you can, talk to your referral partners and whatnot, where you can actually use assets from Bitcoin as a down payment, but you have to convert it to US currency first. But it's doable. So let's say you have no money in the bank at all. You have $0, but you have you have Bitcoin in an exchange of some sort, right? You can convert to U.S. currency and deposit it into an eligible asset account, and of course, it must be verified like everything else. But the source of a large deposit may be maybe from Bitcoins or other digital currency, provided there's a documentation to show that the funds are coming from the digital currency account that was owned by the borrower. So I've actually had people ask me, can I, because I do a lot of exchanging, I do a lot of investing in Bitcoin, can I use that as my down payment? Yes, you have to convert to U.S. currency, but yes, we can use that as sourceable income, because that's really all they care about. Is it source? Can we trace where the money came from? Because maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, that was not possible, right? Like I want to buy a house. All I have is Bitcoin. Can I use that as assets? The answer would have been no, absolutely not. But now it's yes, and it's literally in the guidelines for Fannie Mae. So that was kind of my takeaway, was if Fannie Mae is recognizing cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as a viable source of down payment, then there's something to Bitcoin. It's not a gimmick. It doesn't seem to be going away, right? It doesn't seem to be a fly by night, like, BS thing that's being made up on the internet. This is Fannie Mae is recognizing it as a form of down payment. So yeah. So if Fannie Mae yeah. So
trades every day. I don't trade. I buy around here and there. Wallets and wallets.
With that being said, I think we're done because you got a hard stop in 2 minutes, Matt. I really appreciate you being on this call. We'll probably do this call again or something similar to it. Maybe we'll get a little bit more specific. But dude, I think that was a great primer. And to me, again, the lesson is Bitcoin's a thing, and people are getting involved. Not just like you said, Paul, Matt, and Larry, but institutions are. So it probably makes sense to at least look into it, right? Uh, mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and as always, Matt, really appreciate it. And you always blow my mind, at least every single time you decide to speak up. So really appreciate you being on the call. Again, we'll invite you again. And with that, we'll let you go. All right, boss. I really appreciate you being here. Again, I really appreciate everyone on the call. If you guys have any questions, give me a call, text, email, whatever you like. We don't do these calls live very often, but we did decide to do today because we think that everyone should know about it. So reach out. I put some of the comments in the comments, links to Matt's resources and the recommendations, and I also put it in the Zoom call. So you guys can look up some more information. But yeah, subscribe to the Zoom call, and we'll see you guys later. All right. This is Larry, the robot maker, and the mortgage guy. We're out. See you later. Really appreciate you guys. Yep.